Hey, welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Dead in Vinland, the Download Me Daddy edition. I've heard there's some rumblings about DLC coming, additional DLC coming for Dead in Vinland in the future, and it kind of leaves me scratching my head on how to approach things here. I desperately want to get this first playthrough finished. However, I'm also interested in knowing what how the game is going to change with this DLC, and how that might influence any potential future you need wisdom, Kari, but other than that, you'd be pretty good for this. Moira is the best balance. Yeah, because like I've expressed many times, and I'm sure you're sick of hearing, those cats are scary. You try to hail the woman from a safe, far enough position, but she doesn't seem to notice you. In fact, she doesn't seem to be moving at all. You even wonder if she's not asleep. There's no beating around the bush. If you want to check her out, you'll have to get past these monstrous felines. Nope, I guess not. Take a quivering step toward the blue lady and the annoying cats. The four of them freeze in an instant and start hissing at you. You clearly feel like you are the meal today. Your legs and your will falter. There's no point risking your life today, even over a naked mystery. Mysterious woman will have to wait. Indeed, she will. Do we have anything for courage? Or, sorry, wisdom. No. And what do we have to do to make a nithing pole? Curse him. So let's just go check him out. Let's just, for now, we'll go check him out. Approach, screaming and punching. Will you curse him like Moira told you to? Curse him. You set up the horse head as a nithing pole. Instantly, Eagle freezes and stares at you, trembling with fear. You take the black magic book out. You can't help but feel a certain uneasiness. You want to open it, but your hand feels very heavy. Whoa. You take a deep breath and open the ominous book. You feel cold wind escaping from it. You turn the pages quickly. You must find the perfect curse before Eagle recovers. Oh, God. Courage and intelligence we need. You're too under pressure. You can't think straight. And all these ominous words. Eagle comes back to his senses and throws his axe at you. You flee, badly hurt. Okay. What did we say? Courage and intelligence. Well, it's not Kari. It's not Eirik. Bloodwed. It's really not even Moira. Oh my God, it's nobody. Brother Angelico? No. So intelligence seems to be a bit of a lacking trait. We can buff somebody by 10. I'll bring her up to 50. Or her 60 and 60. Huh. That's a strange one. Must be an uncommon combination, because I don't remember this being an issue before. A trapped shield. We'll inspect the heck out of this thing. You see a rune-painted shield surrounded by all kinds of deadly traps. Someone went very far to protect this shield from thieves. Or is it to protect people from it? Some kind of cursed item? You don't know, and to be fair, you're not sure you want to know. Well, fortunately, we're going to find out. Everybody's so filled with wisdom. The rune is big enough for you to read it without putting you in danger. You've encountered this rune before. It's used for the sound th. But you know The Allfather didn't sacrifice himself for mere letters. No, he knew runes carry secrets and ancient wisdom. What? Why is that so low? You remember learning this rune is called the Thurisaz. This is Thor's rune, representing his struggle to defeat Thur's giants, using both strength and mind. You've seen warriors asking for the rune to be carved on their weapons, hoping to get the strength to protect whoever they hold dear. You also heard of sorcerers using the rune to evoke demons from the underworld. As the rune is sharp-edged and three-cornered, like the giant Hrungnir's thorny heart. No matter what the rune means, you should follow Thor's steps. Use both brain and muscles to overcome any hardship. Brain and muscles. Not very agile there. Brother, the traps are all entangled together. Some are on the ground and some are hanging from the trees. There might even be some more hidden in the foliage. Foliage? Foliage? You don't know why, but this sight doesn't threaten you. Even seeing remnants of human beings scattered on the floor, you can't help but feel challenged. Well, duh. You seize a nearby dead log big enough to activate the traps, but light enough for you to throw at a distance. You throw it at the traps, hoping to free the way for you. Just to be safe, you retreat a few steps as it lands on the ropes in a heavy thud. A branch full of strange-looking flowers swings over the log. Greenish pollen rains down on the ground. Something tells you it's poisonous. The branch is now stuck in the air. You wait for the last pollen grains to drop before crossing and reaching the inner circle of traps. Tomo's gonna keep going. You're close to your goal, but a last circle of traps prevents you from going closer to the shield. Break them down, Tomo, break them down. I apologize. I feel like I'm very tired when it comes time to record these days. I don't know. Remember whatever happened to the days of the marathon recording session? Remember those good times? A couple of days there, or that one day for sure. I seem to remember having the afternoon or the whole day off. And we just had a recording marathon. We banged out like six videos in a day. It was a glorious time. My mood was spot on. I was sharp. I was witty. I was with it. It was, the younger days. You get your knife out and notice the parts of the rope closest to the ground are thinner. You should cut there. You need to make the rope stand still if you want an easier cut. You gently wrap your fingers around the thick part and feel a sharp pain. Wrap your fingers around the thick part. And we're writing that one down. Wrap your fingers around the thick part. Good advice. Looks like the threads were woven on top of barbed wire, so twisted, but that explains why some parts of the rope are thicker. Yet you have to endure, if not to risk activating the trap or not being able to cut the rope. Threads can't resist your knife for long. They break. Dragged by weights, the rope slides and grips where the barbed wire part starts, jamming the trap. You can now safely reach the shield. Stone skin. We already checked the rune. Ropes secure the shield inside the 3 branches. The branches are very thorny. You won't be able to get out of this without a few scratches. You do not spot any more traps, but it doesn't put your mind at rest. You don't know why, but the atmosphere around the shield is suddenly heavy. As your knife approaches, you can't believe your eyes. The thorns are twitching and extending toward you. Is it a sign from the gods? Did you fail their challenge? By Thor, you used your strength to overcome the traps. Was it not good enough? You step backwards, trying to get away from the thorns, but they keep following, growing in speed. They circle one of your arms and ankles. As they scratch your skin, you start to feel dizzy. Poison? That would be your luck. You try to get away, but only receive more scratches. Eventually, you collapse. 1 injury, that's it. You wake up after what seems to be a few hours later. You're resting against a tree away from the traps. What strikes you is the absence of scratch marks on your skin, and of any sign of your progress through the traps. Was it all a dream? Yet the pain was so vivid. Oh my god. To go through all this again? I don't understand. Wrap your fingers around the thick part. This all looks vaguely familiar. Dragged by weights, jamming the trap. We can now safely get to the shield. So, can you not do this? No more traps. Cut the ropes. I've met hidden conditions. No, not gonna happen, eh? Huh, I guess we have to understand the rune again? Let's bring Brother Angelico in here. Encourages you to follow Thor's steps. Use a combination of brain and muscles to overcome any hardships. But how can this apply to those traps? That's something you still have to find out. So, we need to understand and use muscles as well. So let's try a wisdom and strength combination. It's Tomo. It's always Tomo. Tomo was always there. Throw something. Try to understand the traps. Some ropes are connected to the traps under the leaves, dirt, or in the foliage. Several ropes activate the same trap. That's nasty. Other ropes are merely there to make you trip and fall on the trapped ones. One thing's sure. Whoever made this was intent on protecting the shield. You seem to notice a pattern. The blood-tainted ropes are decoys and obstacles, whereas the untainted ones are connected to traps. Deactivate the traps. Your dagger in hand, you start working on the activation mechanism of a nearby trap. You have to be very careful not to trigger it by mistake. A bead of sweat rolls on your forehead as you hear a little click. You freeze in fear. Then a piece of metal falls off the bone it was nested in, and you sigh in relief. One less more to go. You advance to the inner circle of traps. Oh god, construction. Let's get Yagoob in there, close to the goal. Oh jeez, 82%. Come on, Yagoob. Tangled in knots. Hard time finding out where each rope goes. Oh boy, I don't understand what's happening here. Check the inner circle. Fine, let's send Moira in again. Oh no, she hasn't gone in yet. It was Tomo. Close to the goal, last circle. Understand. Oh my god. How is that possible? How is that possible? Inner circle. Moira, go. 94%. Thank you. Aggravating. Location, the mechanism. Not blowing your face. Intelligence, 98. Yes, thank you. I think that's a flaw in the game design. I'm not even reading this now because I'm not even interested anymore. Now you have to worry about dodging the hanging rope as you walk toward the shield. Get the shield. Send Eirik in there to get it. 3 branches are thorny. Won't be able to get out of this without a few scratches. You do not spot any more traps, but it doesn't put your mind at rest. You don't know why, but the atmosphere around the shield is suddenly heavy. So we haven't met a hidden condition somewhere to get at these traps. It seems like a faulty... I noticed the same thing with the gambling table, right? It's when you bury like necessary items and things in these dice rolls, it means you can't progress. You can't beat the game without them. It just means you just have to keep going back and hoping for a better dice roll, right? If it's not skill based, if it's not you who's doing it, what are you supposed to do? You just have to keep going until you click the right combination of things? It seems odd to me. Let's check out this weird device. You see a strange device. 3 stone heads on a large wooden structure tied to some kind of lever in the ground. You notice a small wooden box in the middle of the device. A cavity is carved on it, large enough to put your hand in it. Yeah, go stick your hand in that. It's carved with a middle finger. Check the device. Scavenging and intelligence. It's Moira. Cautiously approach the strange device. Several possibilities. I think I get it. No. Check the heads. Take a close look at the stone heads. They each represent some sort of warrior with different attitudes. Nope. Okay. You don't find anything special. Check the device. You. Yeah. Heads. Boom, boom. Skill check. Bing. At the back of the heads, you notice the small runes engraved on the stone. Easily decipher the words forest, mountain, and apple. Cautiously approach the strange device. Check the lever. Lever firmly tied to the device. Your only choice would be to pull it. Pull the lever. Nothing happens. Oh god. Check the box. Simple wooden box. Nothing weird. Oh my god. Put dirt in it. Grab some dirt on the ground and put it in the box. Nothing happens. You cautiously approach the strange device. Check the box. Check it with your hand. Put your whole hand and half of your forearm in the box. Nothing. Check the box. Pee in it. The box is now wet and smelly. Check the box. Now put the dirt in the wet, smelly box. Check the heads. Search. Small runes. Easily decipher. Forest, mountain, and apple. Forest, mountain, and apple. Hear scratching sounds in the device. After a few seconds, the heads stop, but nothing more happens. Okay, so forest, mountain, and apple. So it's like trees, stone, and berries. You think you've understood how the device works. You need to put something in the box and then pull the lever. But what object should you insert in the box? Forest, mountain, and apple. Decide that a piece of wood, stone, and a piece of fruit. Look, I did it. Yay, Roman. But what is the purpose of this device? Who knows? Okay, so do we need to get all of it right now? Because I can't. We'll throw Parvana on here. She can pull some berries out of here. She'll give us some fruit in the morning. Our food situation should be fine, I'm guessing. Yeah, we're good for food for the day. We're getting water. The dog is resting. You guys are working for some reason. We'll roll this over. Game of Thrones. Roman, what is your thoughts? Why are you? What's going on? Are you okay? Well, no, I'm incredibly bored. I'm looking to distract myself from my shortcomings as a human being by immersing myself in some new media. And that new media of choice at the moment is Game of Thrones. Now, has it been a fulfilling season 1 of Game of Thrones? Phenomenal, loved it. Excellent television. Easily in the top, if not the top 3, then certainly the top 5 television shows of all time for my money. What are my top ones? Well, thank you for asking. I don't know. Breaking Bad's up there. Game of Thrones is in there. Fargo on Netflix, season 1 and 2 anyway. Season 3 was like, what? And I'm embarrassed to say, Battlestar Galactica back in the day, that show does not hold up well. But the original watching of it, I enjoyed that show. What else? early Walking Dead. Please don't hang me. Don't throw stones. I'm still a fan of early Walking Dead. I even enjoyed season 2, the much maligned season 2. I thought was and don't. I know it's easy to say this after the fact, and I you have no reason to believe me. I know, but I am like the first one, or at least I came up with it on my own without anybody else mentioning it. The creators, the stars, nobody else mentioned it. Didn't read it anywhere on Reddit, nowhere else. I was the first one to say it. This is how I got my family hooked on the show, actually. I said the show it's not a zombie show. It has zombies in it to drive the conflict, but it's not. It's about the people. It's about the survivors. And I even went further on to say they are the Walking Dead. And I got my mother to watch this show, my spouse to watch this show, people who would never, ever want to watch a zombie movie, TV show, ever. Got them both watching The Walking Dead because I was the first one to identify it's not about the zombies. It's not a zombie show. It is not a zombie movie. I keep saying movie. What am I, like 100 years old? I call movies shows and shows movies? No, makes no sense. But yeah, Game of Thrones right up there with in my top 5 easily top 5. Is Parvana a medicine woman? Because we've got some injured people. We've also got some depressed people, actually. Depression, I think, is more of an issue. Injury and sickness. What is your skills? 14. Oh. You could go here, though. With her. What about you, Solveig? Are you, not really, eh? Wow, that's unfortunate. Bloodwed? Bloodwed's in there. Well, I mean... Tomo? Tomo was our other healer. I knew there was another healer. Ah, thank goodness I remembered that. Although she couldn't stand to go to the tavern, but we won't worry too much about it at the moment. Season 2, Game of Thrones, I was like, what? Did something happen? I don't really even know what possibly happened here. It just seemed like all of a sudden this season was over. I'm like, when is it going to start? Season 3, I think, was better. This is the problem with binging media like this, is it all blurs together. I only remember the highlights, and the highlights are mostly spoilers. There's the colorful ceremony at the end of season 3. I still think was fantastic television, but it basically ultimately killed the series for me. I've finished season 4 now, and it hasn't really brought me back, honestly. It's a shame. I know. It's a strange one. It's weird because it becomes the point where it's like none of the characters who are left interest me. You know? All of the most interesting characters and setup was all in season 1. And nothing that's left interests me. And it's unfortunate, but it's like... But that's what the show... And this is where I'm going to put my predictions in writing here on record, because I missed out on the Walking Dead thing about being able to legitimately claim that I made that observation. So I'm going to make this observation right now. Game of Thrones is about the passing of generations. That's what it is. It's about quote unquote millennials versus baby boomers. It's the glory and easy times of the old days versus the angst and challenges that the younger generations face. Both like the strictly young as well as the sort of Generation Xers kind of caught in the middle, a la the senior Lannister parents or middle Lannisters. It's a strange one, but that's what I'm coming down to. Is it's very much about generation v generation in that, and sort of the angst and conflict that comes from that. I a lot of parallels to modern current sort of problems. Maybe not current like today, but I could see current when the show was being made, and things that I've dealt with and experienced as well. kind of strange in that regard that a fantasy medieval sort of. I wasn't expecting it. I guess it's not that surprising. Creative stories can be anything, allegories for anything. It's just I wasn't expecting that type of allegory in a medieval fantastical setting. But you're all gone anyway. No one's listening to me right now, but I appreciate the opportunity to speak my mind. And I'm continuing watching. Maybe it'll pull me back in. Game of Thrones. I've cut way back. I'm trying to just watch an episode a night now, just to slow, let my body digest it a little bit better, and maybe have a more favorable opinion. Oh my God, we're 25 minutes in. I will be back. Until then, thanks very much. See you soon.